Hey, Inuki here. If you'd like more CoH games, show your support on Twitch or join the Discord. Now Jenkins, introduce the commanders, please.
Language I don't understand.
Starting off with the Allies, spicy as a Sunday roast and bold as the Queen, our first commander is Gary. He's leading the valiant US forces, sporting a vivid shade of red that shines strong and proud against the drab battlefield. He's setting up shop up north, close to the edge of Pacino, poised to come down on those Axis fellows like a sack of bricks. Now let me tell you about this one time. Picture this, in the heart of the desperate winter battle of Manitoba, when a Canadian beer ration was threatened, Gary led a daring midnight raid, using only a signal flare and a service puncture repair kit. He single-handedly saved the entire shipment. Cheeky lad, isn't he? Kept the morale high, he did. Hats off. Now for the Axis. Slippery as a North Sea eel, we've got the ToxicGrenadier at the helm of the Wehrmacht. His troops are bold, but surely no match for our Gary. Our German fella is coloured blue, almost as icy as his heart, perched at the southern position. Rumour has it this chap, during the infamous pastry debacle of Vienna, swiped the last strudels in the city under cover of a foggy dawn.
A bastard.
The audacity. Got away with it too. Left the poor civilians strudelless for a fortnight. But fear not, as we all know, there's no room for pastry thieves in Gary's theatre of operation.
Certainly
This
not.
should be a jolly good show, old beans. Can't wait to see ToxicGrenadier trying to dodge a strudel thrown at 60 millilaf. Now, isn't that a sight for a bloke to relish?
And we've got our first bullets traded. Thanks, Jenkins. I'm not sure how much of that is true or not, but let the strudels commence. Right.
I have to say, the assistant's voice has great cadence and not robotic at all.
Yes, a great cadences. I thought that as well. It's brilliant. I think I love it. So, welcome to Pacino. We already have smokes flying, having to reposition the Grenadiers and Pioneers and Grenadiers. Oh my god, it is a blobtacular scenario. This is immediately going on Reddit, and people are going to be like, look at the blobbing. But as often is the case with the Wehrmacht, certainly when I play Wehrmacht, I try and ensure that my units are in, relatively one side of the map more so than the other. We've got some little sneaky backcapping there. Because then you can bring in units to assist in the conflicts that you need. Responding with as much force as you can reasonably get there in time. I think a lot of players tend to struggle with 1v1s because they do what they think is the right thing, and that is to space out across the map. But it's not about the spacing across the map, it's about the spacing between your units. You want to be able to ensure that you can reinforce other squads in a reasonable amount of time. And that's certainly what ToxicGrenadier managed to do here. But of course, that does come with the downside if your opponent is split across the map.
Interesting opening fourth rifle.
Yeah. With splitting up across the map, it does mean that Gary will take a lot of the south side of the map. 4 rifles, though. I like to see it. I like to see infantry-oriented gameplay, as is the way that I often played Company of Heroes 1, but we do have that heavy machine gun set up in a prime position. One squad does manage to make it into heavy cover, they'll be suppression resistant. The other squad also mostly seems to make it into cover, but the Grenadier is getting a good flanking position. I'm not sure if that is negating. It does feel like the damage is relatively high there. Great moves here from ToxicGrenadier. But it's not coming at 0 cost. There is a rifle squad that has gone down to the plus 16 munitions. They'll be fighting some Grenadiers shortly. Let's keep our eyes on the action. Scouts now flanking the Grenadiers. May just be a measly scout squad, but it's enough when there's only 3 Grenadiers left. Map is looking quite interestingly divided. Finding some cover behind one side of the sandbag wall there. Not the long side. And do feel free to chime in with any kind of information that you'd like, by the way. As I say, we've got a whole night of Company of Heroes. Hey, MP40s! Could have been more surprising. Might have wanted to run up, then surprise with the MP40s, get a lot of damage in. just through that. Hey, cool, we got the merge function. It's the first time I've seen the merge function in a replay. Last time that I casted for the charity event, which we raised $274 for St. Jude Children's Hospital. And we got the infantry commander installed as well. I was looking out for Wehrmacht trying to do the merge mechanic for so long and just did not see it happen once. So, cool to see ToxicGrenadier actually using that. 2 squads of rifles versus MP40s. They would be right not to get too close, but I'm sure there's some flanking positions here that they could scatter in different directions. Heck, even use some of the buildings. 4 windows here.
What PG pick would you expect from the Gary?
Oh, when it comes to battleground picks, I feel so out of my depth because I generally pick the battle group that I just want to play and try and win with it. And it's been quite a while since I've actually got playing Company of Heroes 3 because I've been so busy on working. For me, I would probably want to go Airborne because I'm just such an Airborne player. I feel like as Airborne I can handle every situation. I feel like I can handle armor relatively well if armor is suddenly sprung up on me. But I don't expect Airborne in this situation. With 4 rifle squads already on the field and a captain, I feel like you already have more than enough infantry presence that you don't want to bring in an extra paratrooper squad at this moment in time. Maybe later, sure. But right now, it's kind of, what is ToxicGrenadier going to do, and how am I going to react to that? If I get another infantry squad out on the field... Oh, okay. We're getting a half-track out here. Okay, I'm very excited now. Maybe we're going to upgrade this...
Back cap by Gary, though.
Yeah. So we're going to get the Stummel. Certainly going to help against the rifles if they try and hunker down into heavy cover, which at the moment Gary has been making excellent use of cover. The bar upgrades as well is going to help when they fire from a distance and they're just looking for cover to play behind. That's it. Get behind that wall. Still about 10 seconds away from upgrading this. Got reinforcements arriving as well. Heavy machine gun, grenadier squad. Really getting the fire down. Yeah, surprise Stummel.
The enemy has taken a victory point.
Love getting the cinematic shots. I can't remember what my cinematic button is now, though. I've got so many hotkeys to remember. Pioneer getting away with just 1 soldier. This territory will fall over into the hands of the Wehrmacht. Let's see. Not yet. Not yet. We still don't have a battle group choice for Gary yet. If it was Airborne, I doubt we would see tier 3. Ooh, sly grenade there. MP40s getting some friendly fire. Sure, they're only grenadiers. We don't need to worry about that. Coming dangerously close to that. Captain, I'm fearing for that guy's life, but he does make it out. Got war all over the place. That's what I like to see. I'm gonna quaff some tea now. Oh. Delicious. So the Stummel not having too huge an impact at the moment, but it is doing some work. Typically, any kind of artillery fire thing is not going to give you the big fancy detonation of a whole squad right away. You see mortars that end up being Vet 3 with 0 kills, but then the amount of damage that they've dealt over the course of the game is huge. Massive contributions, just, you know, not always getting the kills. Oh, we do have a tier 3 out, so I think we can eliminate Airborne. The only other 2 options is Advanced Infantry and Armored. Now, maybe Armored, maybe Advanced Infantry. I could certainly see Rangers being out on the field with all these rifle squads, maybe wanting to convert them into a Ranger squad once they hit like Vet 2.
ToxicGrenadier squad standing by.
Trying to destroy the buildings or fire through the buildings here. I do like hiding behind buildings whenever there's artillery, and also like it works against planes too. I've had a couple of epic moments in games of mine where I've managed to anticipate an air ability coming in against me and get to the other side of the building. So the building takes all of the rockets or the strafes. That's very exciting. I like that detail in Company of Heroes. You don't see it often. We do have a mortar up for Gary as well, so this heavy machine gun better be prepared.
Curious decision to
There it
build
is.
mortar as opposed to an ATG.
I think, honestly, a mortar is always great. Anti-tank gun? For what? It's just this at the moment. The anti-tank gun is going to be hit by that. I know a lot of people do like to get anti-tank guns in anticipation, you know, preparing for an armored response. But that's not playing reactive, that's playing anticipatory. So it's like this anti-tank gun here, against what? There is a Greyhound coming out now. But they could have probably held them off with Panzerfausts and then bought the anti-tank gun as needed. I still don't think it's a bad idea to get an anti-tank gun if you're feeling, you know, relatively okay for resources. But mortar coming out earlier for Gary, I think is great, especially on this map. There's a good position around the middle where heavy machine guns often tend to venture. Almost losing a rifle squad there. Oh, huge response. And we got some Panzer Grenadiers out now as well. Oh, Stummel trying to predict some shots. Toxic Grenadier. Skills. That's a medic. I thought it was still a random civilian.
We do not hold any victory point. We must counterattack.
Gary's flamethrower having to go through a lot of fire. Reinforcements have arrived. New construction options. Getting positioned behind the fences looks great. It's about the right distance as well. Moving in to try and hit them on the retreat. That's 2 model losses on the retreat. Pretty good. Where's the Stummel firing? Into the house, it seems. I love like this formation where you got vehicles at the back, infantry at the front, mortars firing down on the grenadiers. Feels all very traditional warfare. So many territories being captured at once. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's that Greyhound. Already upgraded with the additional armored skirts.
Territory lost.
Going for the Panzer Grenadiers, just trying to inflict as much manpower damage as it possibly can. Has to be careful with the Grenadiers. I don't think they'll Panzerfaust though. But they don't have to Panzerfaust. They can just look like they're Panzerfausting and flatten them. But they don't want to do that because there's an anti-tank gun here. They don't want to scare away the Greyhound.
The enemy has claimed our territory for
Not
their
lining
own.
up for the shot. But also very, very careful. Toxic Grenadier realizing, yeah, this is kind of exposed, and you can see the response coming as well.
The
There's
enemy
rifles,
has taken a victory point.
scout, engineer with a flamethrower, all looking to try and get round here, and there isn't too much in terms of Toxic Grenadier's forces here. Wow, Gary just gunning straight for that pack.
5 command points available.
I feel like they had some hell of a clairvoyance going on there. Chasing it down.
We are down to 300 points. We have lost control of a victory point.
Does get decrewed, but at least gets decrewed in decent ground. They can recover that. Stummel, Vet 2. Hell yeah, let's see how many kills you got, buddy. 1. And you see what I mean?
Enemy forces have
Doesn't
secured
inflict
all
any
victory
losses
points.
against that rifle squad. How's this mortar faring as well? 2! Although this doesn't look great for the mortar. We're going to get that fast retreat. Boop. There we go. But it's okay though, it's not too much of a run. Like, it's a relatively short run. A lot of infantry in Gary's base just healing up. I see most of the forces kind of concentrated on the eastern side of the map now. Hey, Jenkins, can you tell us about the map?
The enemy has taken our territory.
Let's see what Jenkins has to say about the map. Stumall inflicting some pain against the Greyhound. Oh, look at the damage. When it gets a direct hit, it's good. It's anyone's game. The Stumall loses. And so does the Greyhound. And so does the anti-tank gun.
Ah, Pacino. Takes me back to that time during 43. Open fields, a charming stream, and that quaint settlement in the middle brings a tear to the old peepers. Our man on the top, Captain Bartholomew Barty Worcestershire, he was commanding the show, you see. Barty, oh, he was brilliant at puzzling the enemy. Once sent me and the boys on a mission to capture a gaggle of geese from a farmer just south of the church. Said it was for a morale-boosting dinner. Roast goose, he promised. Imagine our shock when we find out that the jolly jaunt was no culinary excursion, but a clever ruse. The ruckus we stirred up spooked those German snipers right out of their hidey hole in that north overlooking building. We were laughing like loons as we chased the birds, while those confused Jerry snipers hightailed it out of the area, thinking a major offensive was underway. Just what the doctor ordered for our boys up at the northeast victory point. Quite the scrambles we had for goose control, leaving our boys free to secure positions. No roast goose at the end of it, though. Barty got pecked and lost his appetite. So, watch out for this map, boys and girls. It'll ruffle your feathers as it did ours. Keep a tight hold on your geese and victory points, if you catch my drift.
No, I don't catch your drift at all. Thanks, Jenkins. Thanks for that insight onto the map. But yeah, one thing came out of that, and is the sides are relatively open compared to the middle. So it's like huge differences. Quite a high concentration of buildings in the center, a lot of shot blockers, a lot of places to hide and get cover behind, versus the wide open ground on both of the flanks. Makes for a hell of a 2v2 map, though. So Gary went for some big divide and conquer. We got this cutoff point here, but it only cuts off the +5 fuel. Still, though, it's nice to have. Scouts are moving up for another fuel point as well. ToxicGrenadier, I feel, is a little on the edge at the moment. They're down to 254 tickets on the victory points. So much infantry out. And we do have the armored battle group selected. So, expect to see...
Toxicren looks to steer towards Tiger.
Oh.
Saving up resources.
Yeah, could be. So, we could be seeing some... Easy 8s versus Tigers. Or is it the light to see? A lot of territory to try and recapture here as ToxicGrenadier is going to move out to the west. They will encounter 2 rifles. In the meantime, 2 rifles in the east as well. I feel like a weather reporter. Heavy machine gun managing to set up, providing some assistance to the Panzer Grenadiers, which are now retreating. But it's all about holding that victory point for as long as possible. They do have 2 at the moment. And heavy machine guns are great at holding points. Still need some infantry, and that's what we have. We have Grenadiers, Vet 2 here. 9 kills. Not in the most ideal position, especially standing on top of a grenade. Oh, that's a lot of damage, though. Rifles in flanking position. Beautiful. That's the tactics we like to see in Company of Heroes.
Command points must be assigned.
Over to the west side of the map. We have a concentration of Wehrmacht infantry. Just holding off the rifles whilst they try and capture the +10. That's it. By the way, even though these pioneers are out of range, it doesn't mean that they don't take damage. Stray bullets can still hit them, which is kind of weird.
The enemy has claimed our territory for their own.
Weirdly makes everything... Every bullet every soldier fires is a projectile. Hey there, Atten. Welcome to the CoCast. Okay, that's going relatively chill at the moment. Sorry in advance. Sorry for what? Yeah, you can join as a caster after the match. We'll get you all sorted out, and you can provide some delicious insight
Right.
if you have
Pal
any.
two.
Yeah, it's looking relatively peaceful now. I like it. Did manage to get the 10, but I think the rifles are going to get back on that. Oh, don't lose the pioneers. We're going to be needing them for some repairs later on.
They are securing our capture point. We have lost control of a victory point.
Oh, that's a delicious flamethrower shot. Oh, mega burn on 2 squads.
Territory lost.
Add into the mix a mortar. Great damage, though. They might not hold the ground, but that next fight that they're in, Gary's gonna win.
Victory point is under enemy control.
Some off-map artillery from the captain there. Forcing a reposition. That's what artillery does. I know people get disappointed when that artillery doesn't kill, but artillery is meant to force repositioning. If you force the enemy to move, you should be able, in theory, to win, unless you didn't have the forces to begin with.
A Tiger heavy panzer
Try not to
is
fire
out of
artillery just because you want to try and get some kills. You know, sometimes it's worth a gamble. Oh, stepping on a mine there. Easy victory for the rifles, but another
Gary keeps attacking
batch of
our
grenadiers.
points. TG is playing it patiently.
Patience is often the key. Unless you're this Panzer Grenadier squad, in which case... Oh, nice merge there. Still going to retreat, though. There was cover here they could hide behind, but that would mean the mortar does more
Excellent.
damage.
We have a Tiger heavy panzer ready for orders.
No reason why you can't move from here to over here, though, and keep repositioning. A little bit of wall hopping never did any harm. Sure, you lose a bit of damage from hopping over the
Cavalry
wall.
have arrived.
Oh, has it? Oh, you're right. And you know what? We're not too far off from... I guess this is going to be... Yeah, an easy 8 coming out of here. So maybe for you, it doesn't feel... Oh, it might feel like a long time ago. For me, this is new.
We have territory
Where you can now
coming from
build
supply.
these vehicles outside of the production facilities. But cool, we need this Tiger, and we do need it now, because you can see the territory is gradually shrinking, and it's kind of consistently being held by Gary as well. So the Tiger is a warm addition. Oh my god, AT gun, AT gun. We're getting another AT gun, 3 AT guns, and an easy 8. I think Gary has the right unit makeup. And they certainly have the
Proper
numbers as well.
response.
The enemy holds all victory points.
Oh, that snipe from the Tiger. Oh, another one as well. Oh, I'd really want to get another blast shot in there, but the squad will get away. Here comes the easy 8. It's going to be down to who has the superior micro and also a rear shot. Oh, I can't see them. They're just out of range, I think. Vision on tanks sometimes appalling. That's why you need infantry, to be able to look ahead. Easy 8 designated to respond to the western victory point being captured. Gonna chase them down, in fact. I thought maybe responding to this Tiger. Staring down the barrel of the Tiger, that mortar squad was. Want to reshift fire onto the rifles. Vet 3 Panzer Grenadiers retreating. I would have thought they should have stayed there. They seemed quite comfortable. Oh, look at this.
Two-pronged attack untiring.
You're really going to have to evade this. Oh, no, 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 no. It fires, it reveals, it takes side shot after side shot, but not after side shot. Yeah, that's a warning. Where's all of the infantry? Currently, we have
Reinforcement withheld.
a slim amount. We got 4 squads, 1 pioneer. It's going to take a long time to repair these vehicles with one Pioneer squad. 2 Pioneer squads, rather. Only 1 engineer squad for Gary. And that Easy 8 is being put to work. It's doing what the Greyhound would have liked to have done, just dart round and try and defend these points. Fast vehicles, excellent at that. Easy 8, though, slow to respond. Look at the water kick up. You can see these anti-tank guns really moving around now to try and respond to this threat. They don't seem to really care whether or not they'll get decrewed. You're unlikely to lose 3 anti-tank guns. Oh, and it's over. We're just ending it there. Victory goes to Gary.
Hey, Vivi here. I edit and upload the videos here on Ironcast. If you want to see Inuki cast more, then like the video, leave a comment, subscribe, come along to the Discord, do anything to let them know. Inuki would love to cast more if you'd like to see more.